Hey Tribe and YouTube fam, we are back. In this video, we're going to talk about how to manifest in God mode. And I'm not too sure yet because this is the beginning of the video. This might be a two-part video because in this video, we're going to go into how to manifest in God mode, how to put your manifestations on God power, and then we're going to transition over to the 5 things how to actually do it, how to kind of think this way. So again, not too sure how long this video is going to be. This might be a long flipping video, but you need to watch it. You need to stay tuned. And before we get to the God mode here, if you want to be part of the tribe, the link is in the description. And if you want to work with me, the link is in the description as well. But I don't say this enough, is that you need to be part of the tribe. Because the part of the tribe is here on YouTube. It's a YouTube membership. This is where we go into the meat and potatoes. And we really cater everything for the tribe members to get the tribe members results in their life. That's why you want to be part of the tribe. The tribe is going to be hands down one of the best YouTube memberships you're going to be part of. But other than that, let's get rocking and rolling and let's start talking about how to manifest in God mode. Now, even though I'm kind of dressed like I'm going to go to the beach, I'm in Surin, Thailand. These are the rice fields. I'm in the middle of the rice field. Up here, you can see this is planting season in Thailand. So they're getting ready to, that's what they're doing right now. They're planting rice. We will walk up through there, but that's what they're doing. But anyway, how do we manifest in God mode? And the first section here, what we have to understand is when you manifest in God mode, this is far beyond manifesting techniques. This is far beyond, Chad, tell me a great affirmation to say. Chad, tell me a great robotic affirmation. Chad, what about the Never Goddard technique? Chad, what about Thomas Troward? Chad, what about Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich? Chad, what about the 5-5-5 technique, the 7-7-7 technique, the 3-3-3 technique? What about keeping a journal? Okay. Because when we start talking about God mode, what's happening is in God mode, we are going to the root. Okay, this is the only way you can manifest in God mode. You have to understand this. You have to go to the root. You have to go to the root cause of why manifesting isn't working for you. Or maybe it's working for some things and it's not working for other things. What's really going on? We have to go to the root cause to fix it. Okay, same way in health. If you have a disease, doesn't it make sense? If you go to the root cause of why you have this health issue, you can actually fix it and it goes away. Doesn't it make sense? But what we're constantly doing in health, in success, in manifesting, and living life on your terms, living life unapologetically on your terms, what's happening is we're constantly treating the symptom and not the root. Okay? So here in this video in God mode, we're going after the root. We're going after the root cause. Okay, now I said that I kind of picked on manifesting techniques. I kind of picked on affirmations and stuff like that. But what you have to understand is all these manifesting techniques that have their place. Okay, you have to get me on that. That have their place. Okay, but really what these techniques do is they help you get to the root, what we're going to discuss here in a second. Okay, that's what I mean. It's not the end all be all with these techniques, but they have their place. When you do affirmations, robotic affirmations, it has its place. Okay, when you do scripting, it has its place. Okay, even if you get involved with a new technique out there that somebody makes up, the 5-5-5 technique, 3-3-3, 7-7-7, whatever, it has its place. But what you have to understand is it's not going to the root cause. Okay, you want to go to the root cause because you want to manifest in God mode. What does that mean? Is when you say something, it's going to happen. When you want something, it's going to occur. When you want your dream house, you know it's going to come to you. You want your dream car, you know it's going to happen to you. Okay? If you say you're a multimillionaire, you know it's coming. Okay? You say things one time and it has to happen, it has to occur. Whatever it is, whatever life you want, you live life on your terms. You live life unapologetically on your terms. You live life authentic on your terms. And things have to bend. Reality has to bend to what you say. This is God mode manifestations. Okay? But how do we do it? And this isn't part 2. We're still on part 1, baby. How to manifest in God mode, the root of God mode is your identity. We have to talk about identity here. Identity is everything. Identity is, it's your whole life wrapped around. Identity is your self-image, your self-concept of yourself. Your identity is what you murmur and complain about all day long. Your identity is the secret you, your secret thoughts, what you secretly tell yourself all day long. Now, what I mean by the secret you is you don't even tell your significant other all the shit that's inside your head. We all do it. I'm guilty of it too. Okay, you understand? This is how we get into God mode manifestations, because we understand it's about identity. We understand that in order, listen to this and listen to it very closely, in order for you to have your dream house, in order for you to live life on your terms, in order for you to have these bigger manifestations, I'm not talking about you manifesting a cup of coffee, you're doing the Regalos ladder technique and it worked. All this does is just prove manifestation is real. It just proves imagination creates reality. Okay, that's all it does. Okay, then you get involved with more little ones, where maybe you manifest 5 grand, 10 grand, and it worked. But it's not working when you want these bigger manifestations. It's not working. It kind of stops. It kind of halts a little bit when you start wanting your dream house. You start running $1 million house. We start wanting your dream car. Maybe it's a 911 twin turbo Porsche convertible that's $250,000. Okay. Maybe you want to be a multi-millionaire. Maybe you want to have $15 million in the bank, or liquid. Maybe it's not sitting in the bank, but it's liquid. Maybe you want to give to charities. Maybe you want to be the king of your family. Maybe you want to be the financial king of your family. You're the one that people come to when they face opposition in their life, when they have trouble in their life, when they just need a little bit of assistance and help. You're the one, you're the savior. Okay. You're the first name on the list. Okay. When they're just thinking, they think about Chad. They don't have to flip and think for 5 minutes. They think half a second and they think, I need to call Chad. Okay. This is where God mode manifestations come in, because at this point, it's all about identity, baby. You listen to this. You have to become the person that has your dream house. Okay. You don't wait. Most of you think backwards on this. You don't wait. You think, well, Chad, I'll believe it when I see it. When I hear people say that, one, you're going off your 5 senses, which is very, very low consciousness. You're going off what you can see. Okay. I can see that tree over there. As long as I can see that tree, well, that tree has to be real. Okay, that's your 5 senses. Okay, your 5 senses in your 3D world is a very, very low consciousness, because it's see, hear, smell, taste, touch. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. Okay, but that's not operating from your 4D world. That's not even operating from how never God are taught. For imagination creates reality. Okay, if you can see it in your imagination, in your 4D world, meaning like nothing is here in my 3D world yet, because I see it in my imagination, it has to come to you. Bottom line. That's why we have to work on identity. That's why you have to become, listen to this. If you want to be a multimillionaire, it's about you being that multimillionaire right now, today. You're that person before it actually manifests into your 3D world. That's the secret. That's the secret to God mode. That's why we have to go to the root here. The root is your identity. The root is your self-concept. Your root is your self-image. The root is how confident are you behind your beliefs? What are your beliefs? What is the secret you? What's that junk you're holding in? You have to release that junk to move over to God mode. And this is the work that most people don't want to do. This is why very few, listen to this is why very few people really live life on their terms. Very few people really manifest what they really want. They don't compromise. They don't compromise life. They don't compromise what they want. Very few people. Why is it very few people? It's because you have to go through the work. Okay, it takes a little bit of work to go through this self-gunk in my life. To kind of shed the old so the new has room to come in. You shed, what I mean by that, you're shedding that old identity, that old self, those old limited beliefs, those old limited habits, these old bad habits you have. Maybe it's indecisiveness. You can't make a decision. You're shedding all that so the new can come over. You have to be that person now. This is why the bigger things in God mode, the bigger things are not coming to you because it's all about identity at this point. This is why the little manifesting techniques you're doing is not working anymore, because the reason why it's not working is because everything's coming to you on your self-concept. This is what you have to understand. Everything's coming to you, the secret you, what you secretly believe. That's what you see in your 3D world. That's the bottom line. That's the truth. That's the truth that people don't want to hear. Okay? But you're different. I'm not trying to sell you, but you're different because you're hearing the truth. You know you got to go to the root. You know you got to go to the root to live life on your terms, to fully live life on your terms. Let me give you another example here before we move on to part 2. You see, if you want to be a millionaire, you hear me say that you have to be that person now. And you might argue with me, well, Chad, I can't make decisions like a millionaire. I can't just go out and buy my dream car. I can't just go out and buy $1 million house. I can't just go out and buy a $10,000 watch. I can't go out and just go shopping for clothes and spend $5 grand like that. But you see what you're doing when you ask those questions or certain questions like that is, for one, all you're doing is meaninglessly debating. You're trying to pull out something to basically to disprove what I'm saying is truth. That's your old identity. Those thoughts are coming from your old identity. Those thoughts are not coming from that successful version of you. Those thoughts are not coming from that successful multi-million-dollar identity that you really are. It's buried in you. You have to understand, everything is within you, but it's buried. It's there. Heaven is within you. God is within you. If you believe you're a spiritual being, God is inside you. Heaven is within you. The Holy Spirit is inside you. Abundance is your birthright. It's buried in you, but you have forgotten the power that you possess. Bottom line, when people ask these questions, I already know they're talking from their old self. They're talking from their current identity. They're not talking from their successful version of themselves. Because this is what a successful version of yourself would say, or how they would answer these questions that I gave you for example. You know what that successful version of yourself would actually say? They might sit there and say, you're right. You can't go out and buy your dream house right now. You can't go out and buy your dream car right now. You can't go out and buy your $10,000 watch right now. But, there's a big but with that. But, you can carry yourself like a multimillionaire. You can start making decisions like a millionaire. You can start, maybe you have one outfit that you wear that makes yourself feel better, brings up your confidence, your self-image. Does that make sense? Maybe you're very, very indecisive and you start being decisive. You start saying, okay, when someone asks me something, it's a yes or a no. There's no maybe, there's no I don't know, there's no, okay, whatever you want to do. It's yes and no, I want to do it. Okay. It's yes and no that I want to buy it. Okay, when you go grocery shopping, stop looking at all the price tags because you know that you can buy anything you want in here. You can start programming yourself like a millionaire right now today. Bottom line. That's what your successful version of you is going to tell you. And then it's not going to stop there, because that successful version of you is going to be operating from a higher consciousness. And then it's going to flip it and say, well, since you believe that way, you never can have it, because as you believe, you receive. You see, nobody is wrong. Nobody in life is actually wrong, because everybody in life gets what they believe. What I believe to be true for me has to come to me. What you believe to be true for you has to come to you. That's what I mean by that. So that successful version of you is going to sit there and say, if you can see it, you have to realize the truth inside you. The truth inside you, if you can see it in your 4D world, you can see it in your imagination, it has to come to you. It has to take root. But you yourself, your current identity right now, don't believe that. Your current identity right now has to let go of the how, has to let go of their 5 senses, has to let go of that 5 consciousness. They have to let go. You see, that's what your higher self is going to talk to you. Something like that. But it's all from you're operating from your higher, your more successful identity. There's always a more successful version of you inside you. It's not outside of you. You have to understand this when you manifest in God mode. There's nothing outside of you. Nothing. It's all within. Everything's coming from within. Your 3D world, if you love it or hate it, if you like it or not, it's coming from within you. This is God mode manifestations. Everything comes from within. That's why anything you hear manifesting comes from within. Spiritual comes from within. Your beliefs comes from within. It comes from within out. It's just the self-reflection. It's the mirror principle. Your life is a mirror. Okay, how it's mirroring you is your 3D world is lagging behind a little bit, but it's just mirroring your past thoughts, your past desires, your past beliefs. It's just a reflection. But the great news is, with God mode manifestations, the great news is you can change it like that. The great news is, you know it's come from within. You know your world is a simulation. You know your world is like a matrix, meaning that you can change it at any time. Once you realize this, once you realize the truth, and once you realize the power that you really possess and you really have, once you become awakened to this power, that's when you start manifesting in God mode. That's when your subconscious mind has to obey you. It has to obey anything you say. That's when you say something one time and it has to come to you. Because you actually transitioned to that new identity, that successful version of you. You burn the old. You have to understand your identity. Your old identity doesn't come with you. You have to burn it. Okay? Your old identity, your current identity, it doesn't merge with your successful version of you identity. It doesn't merge. You burn it. You do away with it. Your life doesn't have room for 2 identities. One's operating 100%, one at a time. They don't merge. You burn your old identity and you put your whole truth into your new identity. That's how this stuff works. This is why this stuff takes sometimes a little time. Okay? There's an incubation period. Neville Goddard talked about this before we move on to part 2 here. Neville Goddard said, I love what Neville Goddard said. Neville Goddard said he's never seen in his whole career, never seen the law of assumption fail. And he's saying this in his whole career. You got to listen to this. In his whole career, also Neville Goddard trained with Abdullah. So this would actually carry Abdullah into it, where Neville Goddard is saying, even when I worked with Abdullah, I've never seen law of assumption fail. I've never seen it fail. But listen to this. The only way it fails is if you quit and you give up. But if you hang in there, You don't give power to your 3D world. You be still and know that I am God. Stillness has power. You have to understand this. When you're still, what this means is you're still, you're ignoring all the noise around you. And you're still because you know the truth inside you. And the truth inside you is that you're more powerful than you think you are. The truth inside you is heaven is within you. God is within you. You're endowed with God's power. That's the truth. Bottom line, this is your core identity. This is your core self. You have the power to live life on your terms. You have the power to live authentically. You have the power to live unapologetically on your terms. You have the power to live any life that you want. You have the power to call the unseen into the seen. You have the power to do all this. And even Jesus said in the New Testament, and you can do even more. Now at this point, tribe, let's sit down or roll over to part 2. Hey everybody, we are back. This is part 2 of how to manifest in God mode. Now, like I said on part 2, we are going to go over 5 things, the 5 core things you must do to really transform yourself to actually manifest in God mode. Now, first and foremost, before we get started here, is if you just skipped over part 1 to watch part 2 here, go back to part 1. And watch part 1. Then after you watch part 1, come back to part 2. Because what you have to understand with the manifesting and self-development, personal development, you need to stop these bad habits of skipping around. Bottom line. So if you're doing that, go back to part 1, watch part 1, but part 1 goes into part 2 here. Other than that, let's get rocking and rolling. Okay, part 2, how to manifest in God mode. Now, the first thing we got to do, the first thing is really a recap of part 1. So I'm going to recap it really fast here, but I want you to listen to this very, very closely. Is in part 1, you really got to decide who you are. Okay, once and for all, you got to decide who you are. Okay, in God mode, manifestation starts with identity and not the desire itself. Now, in part 1, I talked a lot about identity. I'm not going to talk about it a lot here in this section because if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to part 1. But in God mode and manifesting, it really starts with identity. It doesn't start with your desire. It doesn't start with, okay, your dream house, your dream car, your dream salary, your dream career. I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to be wealthy. It doesn't start with the desire itself. It starts with you, what's within you, and that's your identity. That's how you see yourself. The walkaway here, what I want you to start seeing and being aware of is actually how you talk to yourself, actually what you are saying. So for example, I don't want you to say things like, I want to be wealthy. I want my dream house. I want my dream career. You get me on that? It's not about you wanting, you already have it. So what you need to start doing is be aware of this and start actually saying things like, I am wealthy. I have my dream house. I have my dream car. I have my dream career. I am. Now, the power of I am, it really stems from I am as another name of God. Okay, this really comes from more of an esoteric Bible wisdom, esoteric Bible interpretation, is I am is inside you. The power of I am, your I amness is inside you, meaning God is inside you. You are endowed with God's power. So when you attach I am to something, you're giving it God power. That's what you're doing. So in step 1 here, I really want you to start paying attention to how you're actually talking to yourself. Okay, stop saying I want this, I want that. Stop murmuring, complaining. It's all about I am, who you are. And what you have to understand is there's no backup plan. There's no waiting. There's no let's see. There's no you're dipping your toe in a baby pool to figure it out. Oh, let my best friend do this. Let my best friend join the tribe, and I'll wait and see if they start getting what they want in their life. Then maybe I'll jump on board. You're thinking backwards, okay? There's no backup plan. There's no plan B, C, D, E, and F. There's only plan A. There's only plan A, baby, and that's what you want. Plan A is you want to live life on your terms, period. Bottom line, whatever that means for you. Okay. It means something different for each of us. You have to understand that. Okay. There's no backup plan. There's no waiting. There's no let's see. 2, how to manifest in God mode. Assume the outcome has already done. I'll say this more time. Assume the outcome is already done. Bottom line. And this is more of a Neville style, but we're going to go deeper with this. We're going to go sharper with this. Okay, what you need to do when you assume something is already done in God mode, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to act. You need to walk, speak, and move like the outcome is already past tense. I'm going to say this one more time. This is so powerful. You need to walk, speak, and move like the outcome is already past tense. What does that mean? You need to walk, move, and act like it's already happened. It's already in the past. You already have what you want. You've already had it from the very beginning. You said it. This is God mode, baby. Okay. You don't visualize to believe. I want you to listen to this. You don't visualize to believe. You visualize to reinforce. Isn't that a better saying? Okay. When we think about visualizing, when we think about imagination creates reality. You don't visualize to believe. You're past that point. You already believe. You already believe this stuff works. You already believe that what you believe, what you say has to happen to you. You already believe. What's the next phase of this? The next phase is you visualize to reinforce. You visualize to reinforce your identity. You don't journal to figure it out. You journal as if the movie already happened. And this is for people that love journaling, that loves to write down things. Maybe you love to write down things, you're journaling. Maybe you're journaling inside your head. Maybe you're kind of more like me, where you're very analytical. You think a lot. You think a lot about how things are happening, how things are going to transform. Okay. I'm more just doing it inside my head, but some people like to actually sit down and they journal on a piece of paper. They journal in a book. Listen to this more time. Is you don't journal to figure things out. You journal as if the movie you have created has already happened. It's already occurred. You already have what you want once you see it inside your imagination. Every thought, posture, tone of your voice matches the version of you who holds the outcome with ease. And there's that key word with ease. Okay, your power comes from stillness. Your power comes from easy. It comes from ease. Your power doesn't come from friction. Okay, your power doesn't come from force. Okay, actually, force works in reverse for us in real life. Force causes friction and force negates. Force repels. Once we start trying to force things to happen, it repels from us. It stays away from us. Okay, think about it this way really fast. Is if you're trying to force a friendship, you're trying to force somebody to like you. Maybe you really like somebody, okay, for like a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatnot. But if they can feel that energy from you, if they can feel that energy like you're trying to force something to happen or you're trying to force to be in their life, if they can just feel that energy, what happens is they tend to stay away from you. Okay. It's not because they don't like you. It's that they feel that friction. They feel that energy from you, and that kind of repels them. Listen to this. We've all dealt with that. We've all had those types of experiences in our lives where force negates. Okay. This isn't a superhero movie where you have to get really mad for your powers to work. It works in opposite. It's opposite in real life. It's opposite in God mode. Our powers come from when we're just still and confident and at ease. We're calm. That's where our powers are. You're calm. I'll read this one more time, then we move on to number 3. Remember, every thought, posture, tone of your voice matches the version of you who holds the outcome with ease. You're not trying to make it happen. You're not looking for the how. You're not trying to force it to happen. You're not trying to figure it out. It's already occurred. That's what ease means. You're letting it be. You're being still. Even though you don't see your dream house yet in your 3D world, you're still to the noise around you. The noise could be naysayers. The noise could be your friends making fun of you, wanting your dream house, wanting a better life. Okay. Or the noise can be more simple, more subtle. Like the noise could be your inner dialogue, what you're telling yourself. The noise could be that little whisper that tells you that you don't see your dream house yet. You're still living in your beat up house. You're still living in your beat up apartment. There's no way that dream house is coming to you. A lot of us are fighting that internal noise like that. That's what I mean. That noise could be anything, but you're still to it. You ignore it. You're still to it because you know the truth is inside you. You know that it's coming to you. It just hasn't moved in your 3D world yet. But you know the truth is, if I've seen it in my 4D world, if I've seen it in my imagination, it has to, listen to me, it has to come to you. It has to transform in your 3D world. Bottom line, listen, your subconscious mind doesn't play favorites. You have to listen to this. I want you to get this. You guys are not getting this. Your subconscious mind doesn't play favorites. Your subconscious mind doesn't like me more than it likes you, and vice versa. Your subconscious mind isn't trying to find out what's true and false. Your subconscious mind isn't trying to find out what's best for Becky, what's best for Chad. Your subconscious mind isn't trying to find out what's best for you. It's very, 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 very impersonal. Bottom line, your subconscious mind gives you, I want you to get this. I want you to walk away with this. Your subconscious mind gives you what you give it, period. Bottom line. The question you need to ask yourself is, what are you giving your subconscious mind? What instructions are you giving your subconscious mind? What are you thinking about? See, this is the truth. I'm speaking the truth here. I'm not speaking some type of fancy manifesting technique. The truth is, if you're envisioning and you can see your dream house and you influence your subconscious mind, your truth is it has to come to you. Bottom line, you just don't know the incubation period. All you know is I got to stay still in my belief. Bottom line. 3, God mode manifestations. 3 is use inner conversations as command center. So meaning by that, you use your inner conversations, your inner dialogue. Okay, what you're thinking about, what you're murmuring about all day long, murmuring, complaining all day long. You use your inner conversations as your command center. That's what it means. And we're going to put this on God mode here. Okay, this is God mode, baby. This isn't, you're not playing around in a baby pool no more. Listen to this. Your inner dialogue is the control panel of creation. Holy crap. Your inner dialogue, what you're thinking about all day long, positive or negative, what you're murmuring and complaining about all day long to yourself, to your best friends, to your coworkers at work, that is shaping your reality. That is bending reality in your favor, either good or bad. Okay, remember our conversation on the subconscious mind. It doesn't care if it's good or bad for you. It's just going to give you what you give it, period. Bottom line, it doesn't play favorites. Okay, you're not trying to manipulate the universe because you think the universe is going to like you more. You think you can win favor with God, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, that is the farthest belief if you can win favor with God. You can't. Bottom line. How to do it in God mode. You speak to yourself like a king, not a servant. Listen, you speak to yourself like a king, not a servant. You speak to yourself like a queen, not a servant. Okay, how are you speaking to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Are you talking down about yourself all day long? Are you talking like you're not worthy of yourself all day long? Are you talking like you're not worthy to have your dream house? You're not worthy to have your dream car. You're not worthy to be the king of your family. You're not worthy to be the queen of your family. And what I mean, king and queen of your family, you're the financial king. You're the financial queen. People look up to you. Maybe you have kids. You're their support. You're their support system. That's what I mean. You don't think you're worthy of that? And let me tell you something. These thoughts are not coming from God. Bottom line, these thoughts are not coming from your higher self. Now, I don't care what you believe, okay, on a spiritual sense, but the bottom line here, these thoughts are not coming from your higher self. Your higher self believes in you. Your higher self is all about abundance, and abundance is yours. Abundance is infinite. That's your higher self. Your higher self is God is inside you, God is within you, and you are endowed with God's power, period. So when you have these thoughts of you're not worthy, you become aware of it right now, and that's not coming from your higher self. Bottom line. So you speak to yourself like a king, not a servant. You expect obedience from reality, not permission. Isn't this so strong? You expect obedience from reality. Okay, what you say has to happen. What you say, listen to this. You don't bend to reality. Reality bends to what you say. That's how it works. You're not compromising yourself to get what you want. You're not bending to reality to get what you want. What you say, reality has to transform to you. Your 3D world has to bend to you to give you what you want. This is what it really means. This is how you bend reality at will. This is how you actually get what you want. These are advanced teachings from even Abdullah, but even Neville Goddard. You expect obedience from reality, not permission. Your thoughts don't ask. They inform the field. Listen, this goes so deep in God mode. Your thoughts don't ask. You're not asking. You're not asking permission. It's a command. Listen, when you talk to yourself in esoteric Bible interpretation and esoteric wisdom, what you're murmuring, inner conversations, what you're speaking is a commandment. Everything you say is a commandment. It has to come to you. It has to transform. You have to bend reality. This is what we're talking about. Your thoughts don't ask. You're not asking. You're not asking for your dream house. You're not asking for your dream car. You're not asking to live life on your terms. You're informing it. It's a commandment. It's what you say. You're telling it how to do it. You're telling your subconscious mind what to do, and your subconscious mind has to obey you. This is how this stuff works. Listen, you say, it's mine. It's done. I don't chase. I choose. Okay, this is just an example. Your thoughts, you don't ask. They inform the field. You say, it's mine. It's already done. I don't chase. I choose. This is so powerful. Step 4 in God mode. We have to collapse time emotionally. What do we mean by that? You stop measuring distance between you and your desire. You see, time is man-made. Time is in a 3D world. Time comes from our 5 senses. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay, we measure, as a human, especially going through the school system, we measure time. Everything is measured by time. How long is it going to take? But in a higher consciousness, there is no time. Bottom line, everything works on the same plane. Okay, we've been digging deeper and deeper on this. Okay, if you manifested a cup of coffee, the same way you manifested a cup of coffee is the same way you can manifest your dream house. It's on the same plane. People's not telling you how simple this stuff is. It's on the same plane. It's on the same consciousness. There is no special voodoo trick to do. Okay, the only thing you're doing is you don't think you really deserve this lifetime over here. That's bottom line. You don't believe it. It's how simple it is. If you believe you can manifest a cup of coffee, well, you can believe you can manifest your dream house. It's all in the same energetic field. It's all in the same consciousness is consciousness. Bottom line, it's all in the same consciousness. Okay, we're the ones that put a difficulty meter on stuff. We're the ones that say, how much time is it going to take to make this happen? But in higher consciousness, time doesn't exist. Time is an illusion. So let's continue with this. You stop measuring distance between you and your desire. You become the version of you that already has it, and the timeline responds. Okay, this is what we talked about in part 1. Okay, maybe part 1 was all over the place. I don't know, but listen to this one more time. You become the version of you that has it already. Bottom line, okay, if you want to be a millionaire, Before you become a millionaire, you have to act as a millionaire right now before you actually have $1,000,000 in a bank. This is what it means. Okay. Before you have your dream house, you have to act like somebody who has their dream house right now before you actually have your dream house in your 3D world. Does that make sense? Okay. This is what we're talking about. You become the version of you that already has it. And listen, once you do that, once you do this organically, once you do this just on autopilot, you don't know that you're doing it. Once you do this, listen, and the timeline responds. Your 3D world has to respond to you. How does it respond to you? It bends what you want. It bends reality at your will. It makes things happen. Okay, you have to understand your subconscious mind. Okay, the subconscious mind is not logical. There's no logic to this stuff. Okay, you can jump from flipping level 1 to level 10. There's no logic to these things. Okay, we put a level of difficulty in it in our 3D world, our five senses. We put like a time frame on stuff. When time is an illusion. And we put some type of logic to it. Okay, it has to be some type of logic sequence. Logic sequence is like you make $20 an hour, and when you get a raise, I make $20.50. That's logic. Okay, but it's illogical to think if you make $20 an hour, well, you're going to jump from $20 an hour to $50 an hour. That's illogical. That just don't happen, but it does. Listen to this. Emotion equals the spiritual signal that shortens time. Your emotion equals your spiritual signal that shortens time. What do you bring an emotion to? Okay. When you feel like it's already yours, with no resistance, no attachment, reality has no choice but to match it. Listen, I'm going to reread. I know I'm rereading a lot to you, but I really want you to get this. I really want you to walk away with this, and I really want you to understand this. When you feel like it's already yours, your identity, okay, you're not faking it. You actually just wake up and organically you're carrying yourself this way, and you don't even know it. You don't even realize it. When you actually feel like it's already yours, with no resistance, no attachment, you're not trying to figure out the how anymore. You're just living it. You're being it. You're being still in the moment. And listen, reality has no choice but to match it. Your reality has no choice but to match it. Your subconscious mind has no choice but to give you what you've been commanding it. And the last one here, number 5, having zero tolerance for confusion, complaining, or compromise. Number 5 is probably my favorite. I mean, all 5 of these spoke so much power to me, but number 5 is my favorite. And let's go through this. And I'll repeat this one more time. Number 5 is having zero tolerance for confusion, complaining, or compromise. This is the key to number 5. This is the key to God mode manifestation. Listen, confusion is a lower vibration. We've all been confused. Okay. There's many reasons why confusion happens. Most of the time it's because we're very, very indecisive. We're not making a decision. We're not saying yes and no. We're not being firm on what we want. All this stuff, being over analytical of things, all this stuff creates confusion. If you're very, very over analytical like myself, you're very, very indecisive. All this does is create confusion. And confusion comes from a very, very low vibration. The universe don't know what to bring you because you confuse the hell out of your subconscious mind. Something is going to win, but it's going to be your deep-rooted beliefs that secret you, the stuff that you really don't want to see in your 3D world because it creates confusion. Makes sense? So let's go back. The key is confusion is a lower vibration. Complaining is leaking power. Compromise is a betrayal of your self-concept. Isn't it so true and so powerful? I'm going to read this one more time for you. Just listen to it and let it sink in deeply. Confusion is a lower vibration. Complaining is leaky power. Compromise is a betrayal of your self-concept. This speaks worlds to me because how often do we complain? Maybe we complain to somebody else. We complain to a best friend. We complain to family. We go to work and your work environment is one great big great big complaining tribe. You know what I mean. We've all experienced this. Or we do it internally, where we're in our inner conversations is when we start becoming self-aware. We're like, holy crap, I can't believe how much I flip and murmur and complain about stuff. All it's doing is leaking your power. Okay? Because when you complain, you have to understand what's going on a conscious level. When you complain, the reason why it's leaking your power is because you're putting the power outside of yourself. When you complain, you're giving up your power. You're saying, I don't have power. I don't have the inner power to control it. So you're letting it outside of you. Anything outside of you is going to leak your power. Bottom line, everything comes from within. Do you understand that? This is more of a higher conscious, a higher esoteric meaning to this. And when it says compromise is a betrayal of your self-concept, how many times do we compromise? I'm talking to myself on this too. How many times do we really compromise a situation? We compromise something we really want. How many times do we do that? But anytime you compromise a higher self, is you're really compromising your self-concept of yourself. You're really compromising that self-image of yourself. You're really compromising the confidence in yourself. That's what compromising really does. No matter what example I want to give, no matter what example I want to give on how we compromise, no matter if it's a dream life, living life on our terms, or dream car, okay, we compromise to have a cheaper car. Okay, you're all, and anytime you compromise, it's always hurting your self-image. It's hurting your self-concept, no matter which way you want to look at it. Now, how do we do number 5 in God mode? You see, you don't explain, you don't defend, you don't ask the old world for permission. You walk like it's done, because in a quantum field, it already is. And this is where we really get more of the advanced of Neville Goddard, more of the advanced imagination creates reality. Okay, the more the advance of your 3D world, like I've been saying, is if you can see it in your imagination, it has to come to you. Bottom line, period. Let me read this one more time. In God mode, this is what you need to do. You don't explain. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain why you believe the way you believe. You don't have to explain why you want your dream house. You don't have to explain why you want your dream car. You don't have to explain why you want to be successful. You don't have to explain why you want to be a multimillionaire. You don't want to explain why you want to give to charities, why you want to help people out. You don't have to explain none of this. You don't have to explain why you want to live life on your terms. You don't have to explain why you want to be authentic. You don't have to explain why you want to live life unapologetically on your terms. Okay. You don't have to explain none of this to anybody. Bottom line, you stop explaining yourself. It is what it is. I want what I want. I don't need to apologize for it. Bottom line. You're done explaining. You don't have to explain. You don't have to defend. You don't have to defend your position in life. You don't have to defend the way you believe. Okay. I don't have to defend it. Because this is what I know. The reason why I don't have to defend it is because I know the truth. The truth is inside me. Okay, what's the truth? One part of the truth is the reason why I don't have to defend, the reason why you don't have to defend is because what I believe to me has to be shown to me. What you believe, if I could talk, what you believe for yourself has to be shown to you, even if it's conflicting. What I believe to be true for me has to be shown to me. What you believe to be true for you has to be shown to you. Bottom line. That's why you don't need to defend, is because your evidence is in your 3D world. Bottom line. What you see is actually your secret you in your 3D world, no matter you like it or not. You don't need to explain. You don't need to defend. You don't ask for the old world for permission. You don't need to ask for permission to be you. You don't need to ask for permission to live life on your terms. You don't need to ask for permission to be their authentic you. Bottom line, you ignore the noise around you. And if that noise is people, you ignore it. If that noise is your inner conversations, your inner thinking, you ignore it. That's how this stuff works. You walk like it's done, because in the quantum field, in quantum mechanics, no matter what you want to say, in the esoteric wisdom, in the 4D world, it's already done. It's already yours. So if you know the truth, if it's already done, it's already mine, then start acting like it. Start walking like it. That's God mode manifestation right there. And one thing I want to say is you walk like it's done before you have what you want. See, that's the key to all this. Because when you see it in your 4D world, you see your dream house, you act as if you already have your dream house. You walk around, you make decisions like that successful version of you would make a decision having that dream house. And once you become that way, organically, reality has to bend. Your 3D world has to bend your way. You don't bend to match it. The reality has to bend to catch up to you, to catch up to what you want. It has to give you exactly what you're thinking about, exactly what you're commanding it to come into your life. Okay, what's the wrap up? What's the final truth here? What's the walk away I want you to walk away with here in God mode manifestation? You see, God mode is when you stop hoping and start creating from identity so embodied, reality can't ignore you. You don't do techniques, you become the technique. Other than that, tribe and YouTube family, let's wrap this up. Remember, blessings to you. Remember, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.